Part two of the major updates. Part one, we talked about the community service hours that RCC is giving, and obviously how you can gain extra hours and how you can also lose hours as well. Part two is just going to be about revised tournament timings and new rules and regulations. So first thing, we'll start with the revised tournament timings. A tournament will take place in the afternoon. Before it was placed in the morning. It was mornings from 10:30 to 2:30. But instead, I've since we adapted into the afternoon timings, as well as majority of the players are now actually coming in the afternoon and not in the morning. We took a change. I'm sorry, took a change, and we put in the afternoon. So the tournament will be in the afternoon. So we'll talk about how the matches will go, what time, the timings for the matches, and all that things. So players need to arrive no later than 1:10 p.m. If any player does not or does arrive post 1:10 p.m., that means does not arrive by 1:10 p.m., later than 1:10 p.m., every 5 minutes after 1:10 will be $2 fee. Basically, you have to be there by 1:10 p.m. If you come at 1:15, that's $2 fee. If you come by 1:20, that's $4 fee. So every 5 minutes after 1:10 you arrive, it's going to be a fee. Now, if you told me prior, I'll go on to I'll talk about it later in the video. But if you do come later than 1:10 p.m., but you told me before that you're gonna arrive late and that reason's valid enough, I'll definitely accept it. But let's say, you don't tell me and then you arrive later than 1:10 p.m., and that's obviously 5 minutes later than 1:10 p.m., then there will be fees for sure. Yeah. So draft picks will begin by 1:30, 1:35. Uh, I said 1:40, but around that time period, 1:30 to 1:40, it will happen by then. So which means that when you arrive at 1:10 to 1:30, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you have time to practice. You have time to practice. You have, obviously practice will be there. Simon will give practices. One thing, something else that will be there also is, getting used to the basically the pavilions and all that etc needs as well. Again, I'll go through towards the video about what other changes will be there. And yeah, I mean, you have the 20 minutes time to, get used to what you're gonna do, where you're gonna put things and etc etc. So you won't be in a rush, and we don't want you to be in a rush either. Match one will begin at 1:55, and the first ball will be bowled by 2 p.m. So the difference, why there's a 5 minutes difference, is obviously players need to get onto the field. The captain, the bowling team captain needs to, set the field and all that. I'm expecting 5 minutes. It shouldn't take 5 minutes since the captain should already be prepared of what he's gonna do. But yeah, 5 minutes max. It should take 5 minutes max. So the first ball should be bowled by 2 p.m. If you guys are noticing, I'm very particular with the timings, and I'll tell you why later. But everything needs to be on time so we can end as efficiently and quickly as possible. So to make things more quicker, captains, if you have a team, I mean, if you have obviously a team ready with you, what you're gonna do, fielding, where you're gonna put the fielders and all that, it just makes our lives easier so we can end it quickly. And obviously, this tournament will not have power play, so you don't have that stress of who I should put back, who I should bring, and all that stuff too. But 2 p.m. will the first game will start. 1:55, sorry, 2 p.m. will the first ball will be bowled. 1:55 is when the match will start. So 1:55 basically when all the two batsmen and the bowling team should be there, and it should take 5 minutes to get everything set. The game time will be an hour and a half, so 90 minutes per game. This includes 2 minute timeouts for each innings. The 2 minute timeouts is basically drinks break. I'll get onto that in the next slide. But the 2 minute timeouts, again, just basically drinks break. This also includes a 5 minutes innings break. So two, two, and then five, which is about 9 to 10 minutes. So the actual raw game without any breaks will be 80 minutes, no later than 80 minutes. So that's basically 40 minutes per innings and 4 minutes per over. Again, very particular about time. I don't want to drag it so much and take it so long because the last scrimmage we played was 15 overs, and that took us the whole entire scrimmage time, which is about 3 hours. We don't need that much time. When we efficiently play the game, it's better. It's not too rushing either, but it's not too slow for it to be boring. Uh, yeah, 4 minutes, 4 minutes per over, 40 minutes per innings. My goal is to make sure to count, to measure how many minutes it's taking per over. Therefore, the captain will obviously know, the bowling team captain will obviously know that this we're ahead, we're behind, and to quicken things up. There's a consequence for this. So if your team does surpass the 40-minute time limit, the stats for that game for your team will be gone. I won't be counting that stats. If it's, I'll give you an example. If it's Deepish, Nikit, and Ashrit, and they surpass the 40 limit time for their innings for when they're bowling and they surpass the 40 time limit, their stats wouldn't be counted for that game. That's the consequence that will be there. So I mean, make sure, I think everybody wants their stats to be set straight. So make sure you guys, captains especially, lead the team well, be prepared, because if you're prepared, everything will go more smoothly. Timeouts. So more about timeouts. Timeouts, also known as drinks break, will happen after the fifth over has been bowled and for the first innings. So after the fifth over has been bowled, then you'll have the timeout. For the second innings, it'll happen after the sixth over is bowled. Uh, it Both of those fifth over, sixth over may be changed due to slow over rate. It may change again because of slow over rate, and when it does change, it goes more. It pushes itself more. So instead of having a sixth over, it'll be seventh over. Instead of having a fifth over, it'll be eighth over, or like that. It'll be ahead, not behind. One major change is that drinks break needs to happen on the field. So not even the bowling team's gonna go back now to the pavilion. All the players, the two batsmen, and the fielders will be on field for the drinks break. Neither of the teams will be going back to their pavilion. So have your drinks ready in place so you don't have to go back to the pavilion. Go back to your pavilion. And what I mean by that is, placing your water bottle behind the boundary. So if you need to take a sip, you can take a quick sip. And all of that needs to be there. That's why I'm encouraging to come earlier so you know what's happening, where you need to put your water bottles, mentally prepare yourself, make yourself prepared. Yeah, so now the team's going back to the pavilion. It used to be only batting used to stay last scrimmage, but neither of the teams are going back now. Match two will begin at 3:45, and the first ball will be bowled at 5 p.m. Sorry, 3:50 p.m. So again, 5 minutes is there. 5 minutes will be there for the match two. Yeah, it's basic the same exact format except a second game later timings. Okay, now for revised and amended and slash new rules and regulations. The first one is overstepping no ball will be 2 foot, not 1 foot. We used to have 1 foot. If you overstep the crease by 1 foot, that was considered as a no ball. Now it'll be 2 foot. This is made sure to have my decisions as an umpire more accurate, and we don't have I would say arguments, conflicts on field, because it used to be 50% my mistake and 50% maybe in the bowler's mistake, right? It was inaccurate, the decisions. So 2 foot's more easy for me to see and for other people to recognize as well. It's a 2 foot and it's a no ball. Next one is there will be no DRS system for the tournament. Uh, I mean, yeah, that's about it. So there will be no DRS system for the tournament. So it will be only umpire's call. If I'm not as an umpire sure, conclusive with my decision, then I will try my best to make sure that both parties are satisfied. Or what I'll do is also try to make sure that it's with the bowler or with the batsman. Usually I'll be biased when it's for boundaries for the batsman side. So if I'm confused between if it's a four or a six, I will be a little bit more biased to the batting side. If it's for a leg strike, or if it's for an edge, or if it's for a catch or a drop catch, I will be a little bit more biased to the bowling side. In in total, what are the fines going to be for this tournament? So we already talked about one fine, which is every 5 minutes after coming past the call time is $2. And another one, this is a pet peeve for me, basically. So if you vote yes that you're coming for the game, but do not show up, and we don't receive an we as in the admins don't receive an update from you that you're not coming, it's $4. Basically, you're ghosting. I mean, we have planned a lot and we don't want it to go to waste. So if you said you're coming, we're part of the plan, and but you don't give us an update that you're not coming, we don't know that you're not coming either. And I'm not gonna go to person to re-clarify. It's up to you. If you voted yes, we expect you to show up on time. So please come. And if you don't know if you're gonna not come or not come, decide first and then vote. The voting will end. The voting polls will be there. Then it will end by Friday 6:30. So you have till Friday to determine if you're gonna come or not come. Which is about 5 days to determine. So check if you're coming, and if you're 100% sure you're going to come, then vote. If you're not sure till maybe Saturday, I highly suggest you to not come because your chances of coming is 50-50. And either way, the voting polls will be closed as well. The third one is not showing up, but the reason's invalid. Basically, you're not showing up, and the excuse is really, really bad, such as you're going shopping. I mean, that's not a bad, I mean, that's really a bad reason for you not to come, right? But it also depends not up to the player as well. If the player actually, has been coming a lot of times. I'll give you an example. RF has been coming all the games, basically almost more than actually 95% of the scrimmages we had for this club. He's been in all of them. He never missed any on one of them. But the canceled meetup that was not canceled a few days ago, RF said he couldn't come because he had the flu. He was sick. And obviously that was a valid reason because RF always shows up. And I trust him that, he actually has the flu. Yeah, he's sick, let him get better. Those type of reasons in that player also determines that he's actually telling the truth. And we believe him. It's valid enough. But if you're constantly getting sick every single week, there's something suspicious, and it's obviously going to be invalid at some point. We'll have to pay the fee. And obviously, just invalid reasons at all. You're going shopping, or you have something else to do, or you have other. You have to go. We have to go somewhere, and all that. The dates have been posted a long time ago. So basically, this should be in your schedule first. But if there's something a little bit more important than that, then I'll consider it. If not, there shouldn't be really it should really be an invalid reason. All right. All of the timings that I just talked about, let's just put it in a slide and I'll tell you how it's gonna happen, how it work in total. So all players playing for both games need to arrive by 1:10 p.m. Draft picks for both games will happen around 1:30 to 1:40 p.m., which means the captains need to be there by 1:10. And all the players need to be arrived by 1:10 as well for the draft picks to commence around 1:30 to 1:40. Match one will start by 1:55. The innings break will happen by 2:35. Match one will end at 3:30. Then obviously I'll have 15 minutes break, and match two will start by 3:45. Half innings will be done by 4:25, and match two should end by 5:20. Another thing would be that if you're the core player, I mean the two core player, that means the vice captain, the captain, for a team that's playing a second game, what you can do possibly is also be there for the draft picks and then go back home and come back for your second game. So you don't have to stay the whole entire time. That's on you. For people playing the second game, the core players that are playing for the second game. If you want to do that, you can do that. Again, the captain and the vice captain in the second game can come for the draft picks and then finish the draft picks and then go back home and then come back. It's on y'all. Y'all, if you want to do that, you can do that, but that's up to you. Overall, this was the updates. If there's any questions or concerns, please message me as soon as possible. I want to give every single player, including the captains, even possibly the admins as well, as much as clarity as possible before the warm-up game starts, which is in a week. So as much as clarity you guys have, the more smoother the tournament itself will work. Again, questions or concerns, please message me so I can reply as soon as possible, and you guys will have more clarity. And in total, if all of us have more clarity, it'll be better for the tournament. So thank you for watching. Those are the two major